The father sneaked into his daughter's room in the middle of the night. Without a word, he lifted her blanket. But just as the man noticed the red rash on his daughter's inner thigh, she woke up before the father could explain. The girl started cursing at him without holding back. Her screams also woke up everyone in the house. At that moment, the girl seemed possessed. She threatened to kill her father with her own hands. Yet the strange events didn't end there. His daughter, who was usually allergic to fish and meat, ate every last piece of fish and meat on the table today. Realizing something was wrong, the father found a witch doctor the next day. Then the witch doctor went into the yard to search. In the end, he fixed his gaze on 3 large vats in the yard. So he quickly told the man to move the large vat, covered with a red basin as the large VAT broke. A dead crow appeared inside. Clearly someone had deliberately put a curse on the little girl to help drive out the evil spirit. The witch doctor immediately began performing a ritual in the yard. But when the little girl saw this, she started resisting desperately. As the exorcism ritual ended successfully, the little girl fell into a deep coma. The witch doctor said the little girl might have seen someone she shouldn't have recently. Recalling that there was a strange wild man living on the mountain, Jack immediately realized something was off. It turned out that ever since that wild man moved to the village, over a dozen people in the village had died inexplicably. One after another, he believed it must be that wild man causing trouble. The witch doctor said that to stop the tragedy from continuing, they either had to drive the wild man out of the village or kill him. With Jack's verbal support, the witch doctor decided to perform the ritual the next night. Little did they know the wild man had already sensed the abnormality. He went outside and bought over a dozen chickens, preparing to use these chickens to counter the witch doctor's magic. The next night, as time came to the evening of the next day, the exorcism ritual was held as scheduled. However, before the ritual was halfway through, Jack suddenly stopped the ritual because he simply couldn't bear to see his daughter struggling in pain. Although the ritual was terminated halfway, the wild man on the mountain was still seriously injured. To avenge his daughter at dawn the next day, Jack took several friends to the mountain to kill the wild man. But when they finally arrived at the mountain, they found it in ruins and the wild man was nowhere to be seen. Just as they were puzzled, a resurrected corpse slowly walked toward them. It turned out this corpse was brought back to life by the wild man using witchcraft last night. Its purpose was to deal with them. With their combined efforts, they managed to knock down the corpse. Seeing this, the wild man was so scared that he ran away. Little did he know, Jack had already noticed him and chased after him from behind. The old man, desperate to survive, fled down the hillside recklessly. Finally, he hid under a cliff, thus narrowly escaping their pursuit. Since they couldn't find any trace of the wild man for a long time, Jack had no choice but to leave resentfully with his brothers. However, on their way home, the sky suddenly poured heavily. Coincidentally, it washed the old man down from the cliff, and he directly hit Jack's car. Jack never expected this old guy to finally fall into his hands. Seeing no passing cars around, Jack didn't hesitate to throw him down the cliff again. Back at the hospital, Jack found his daughter's possession had miraculously healed. But strange things continued to happen in the village. This time it was Jack's colleague who was possessed by an evil spirit. Upon hearing this, the witch doctor rushed to the scene to investigate. Unexpectedly, as soon as he stepped into the village, a pale-faced woman stopped him. Before the witch doctor could react, she suddenly started bleeding profusely from her nose. Seeing how powerful the woman was, the witch doctor had no choice but to flee in disgrace. Clearly, this woman was also someone who practiced witchcraft. And to save his life, the witch doctor had to leave the village with all his belongings. Unexpectedly, shortly after the car started moving, a pile of strange things suddenly attacked the window. Before the witch doctor could react, a swarm of moths frantically rushed toward him, but when he got out of the car, those moths mysteriously disappeared. Only then did the witch doctor realize that the moths blocking the road were preventing him from leaving. Having no other option, he drove back to the original place and called Jack, telling him to go home immediately and look for his daughter. He said his daughter was now in mortal danger, and that they had misunderstood the wild man. Everything was done by that white-clad female devil. Hearing this, Jack hurried to his daughter's room. Sure enough, when he opened the door, he found his daughter had mysteriously vanished. Just as he ran out of the house to look for her, a pale-faced girl stopped him. She told him not to go home now. Otherwise, his entire family would die. This instantly left Jack very confused. Unexpectedly, the girl said, the wild man he had pushed off the cliff earlier wasn't dead, because he was a devil who could resurrect infinitely, and his daughter had been controlled by the devil, which was why she disappeared. Now he was waiting for the arrival of that devil, while Jack was too scared to move. He suddenly received a call from the witch doctor, telling him to go home quickly, or he would never see his daughter again. But at that moment, the girl told him not to believe the witch doctor. She said the witch doctor and that old man were in cahoots. Only when the rooster in the village crowed 3 times would the devil be killed, and then he could go home. Hearing this, Jack was terrified. Now he didn't know whom to listen to. Seeing that the girl was wearing white clothes, Jack instantly realized she was the deceptive devil, so he definitely ran back home. Little did he know his daughter had returned home earlier. And after getting home, she acted like a starving ghost, crazily devouring food from the refrigerator. While the family was panicking, the daughter's eyes fell on a fruit knife. By the time Jack rushed home, it was already too late and the girl sat at the door crying silently. She couldn't understand why. Despite explaining so clearly, Jack refused to believe her. Meanwhile, the wild man on the mountain had completely evolved into a devil. When the witch doctor arrived at Jack's house, he wasn't afraid at all instead. He took a photo of the scene and left. It turned out the witch doctor was working with the wild man. He took the photo to give to the wild man. The wild man had a fetish for killing people. With witchcraft, the witch doctor performed exorcisms for money. Only the girl at Jack's door was good. But Jack simply didn't believe the girl and chose to trust the witch doctor. In the end, he completely lost his family.